Hey there, welcome back to the Magic Box project. So in this video I want to do the challenge that I gave to you in the previous video, which was to use our fade function, which is right here, the RGB fade. And just as a quick recap, we inserted 3 parameters where you could put in the color of the RGB that you want to fade, the start value, and the end value. And then we also put in the intelligence with these conditionals where it could tell if do I need to go up? Is it an increment situation or a decrement situation? And the way you tell that is comparing the start value and the end value. Okay. So if you need a recap, you can go back to the previous video, but I'm going to go ahead and use this function to fade all the colors of the rainbow, starting with red down to all the way to violet. Okay. So I have this, which was my previous code. I'm gonna get rid of that, and I'm just gonna get started. All right. So first thing, I'm gonna do RGB off. That's a function I created to turn everything off. That's a good place to start. Then, and maybe what I'll do is I'll put RGB off. I'm gonna cut this and put it in my setup here. Yeah. I want everything to be off in the beginning, okay? And then let's start with red, right? So I have these functions here. Now these functions I made, it's just gonna, once you run the function, it's just gonna automatically turn on the light to red, right? But I want it to fade, so I can't just use this RGB red function because I want it to fade. So I'm just gonna copy this code. Okay, and paste it here. Okay, and I'll put a little comment here, red. Okay, so I know to turn red I need to go blue 0, green 0, red 255, right? Now I know that, so I can use RGB fade. Okay, so it's gonna be RGB fade, the red LED, and I know I'm starting at 0 to 255. Okay, because I know in the beginning everything's at 0. All right, and maybe so that I don't get confused, I'll go ahead and do RGB fade blue 0 to 0 and RGB fade green 0 to 0. Okay, so I know I'm going for the blue and green, I'm starting at 0, going to 0, so it's really doing nothing, but I want to put that in there because where the blue is and where the green is, and so that way I could just look right here like, oh, blue ended up at 0, green ended up at 0. Okay, so that's why I'm putting this. You could get away without putting these two as well, but it might get a little confusing later, and you'll see. Okay, so that should be good. Okay, so let's just see if this works. I'm gonna put a delay 2000, let's say 2 seconds before it loops back. And so if I upload this, if it's working correctly, it should just start off with nothing and then fade up to red. The red should fade from nothing to full intensity red, and then just turn off, I guess. So let's just upload that. Oh yes, I need to connect. There we go. Okay, I think that's my previous code, so don't worry about that. Okay, let's upload. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's working properly. Let's make sure you can see here against my white box. So it starts, yeah, you see it starts at nothing and then fades up. Okay. So now I have red. Now I want to go orange, right? So let's go ahead and find my orange. RGB orange code is here. Copy that. And then let's see what we have to do for the fading, right? Paste it in here. Okay, so for orange, the red goes to 255. So it actually goes nowhere. I'll just keep it the same. RGB, the initial is 255 because up here I see I ended at 255, right? So 255 to 255. And then what happens with the green? The green here ends at 0, but I need it to go to 205. So then 205. Okay. Now your numbers for orange may be a little bit different. Okay, your numbers, and I didn't perfect it. So if yours is different, you might have a better orange than mine. But I'm just gonna leave it like it is for now, because once you know how to kind of get the gist of this, you can go ahead and put in your own numbers. Then we have blue. Now blue is at 0, right? So then and it ended at 0, so I just go 0, 0. Okay. So once I do this, it should go fade red to orange, and then reset. Let's see. Red. And then I have orange. Yeah, if you see the combination over there, you can kind of see the orange come out. Yeah, you can definitely see it when you see the combination of those red and the green. You'll see an orange up here. Cool. Okay, and then let's do yellow. And again, someone gave me advice. If you kind of wrap this in tissue paper, the colors kind of combine and blend, and you'll be able to see the blended colors better. So that's definitely a good recommendation. But for now, yeah, you can kind of see when it combines up at the top. But definitely take it to the next level, make it look better, right? Okay, RGB yellow. Copy this. Okay, let's see. So red goes to 222. So RGB fade. I want the red. It ended at 255 and go to 222. I'm just gonna copy this so I don't have to keep typing it over and over again. RGB fade. Green. It needs to go to 255, but I see that it went to 205 over here, right? So it starts at 205 and go to 255. RGB fade again, and the blue needs to stay at 0, so it ended at 0. Cool. Let's upload this. Okay, should be red. Slowly becomes orange up here. And then we're going to get some yellow. Let's see, did that work? Let's see. Orange. And then towards yellow. Let's see, what happened here? 205. Oh, I see. And then I don't turn everything off. That's why it's kind of weird there. I guess I could do it RGB off here. Because I was like, oh, why did... And so I'll turn it off. Okay, red. Get some orange coming, yeah. And then it fades into yellow. Yeah, kind of up top you can see, and then it resets. Okay, not perfect. Again, if you get your colors better, your numbers more fine-tuned than mine, yours will be better. But and then green. Okay, green should be easy. Let's keep going. And I'm just gonna try to finish this off here. So red needs to go to 0. RGB fade. Red, it ended at 222, and then I need to end at 0. And then blue ended at 0, and I need to go to 0. And then green ended at 255, and I need to end at 255. Cool. Okay, let me do a few more colors, and then I'll do blue as well. These should be easy because it's really just one light that needs to be on, right? There's no mixture here. Blue. RGB fade. Red, it starts at 222 and needs, oh no, sorry. It starts at 0 and then ends at 0. Blue, we ended at 0 and need to end at 255. Green was 255. It needs to end at 0 to turn off. Okay, let's give this a shot and then we'll try to finish it. All right. Okay, red. Some orange to yellow, and then it should become green. Cool. Now pure green. Nice. And then it should become blue. And then go back to red. Cool. I got some nice fading going on. Now indigo, kind of like a light blue, right? Let's go up here. Mine is these. Oops. Okay, let's do this again. I think we got the rhythm. Red starts at 0, ends at 0. Green, let's see what is green, ends at 0, but it needs to go to 247. And then the last one, blue, if I could look at the, starts at 255, but it ends at 255. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the violet. Here. Okay, RGB fade. Red is starts at 0, ends at 179. Green starts at 247. Need to turn it off, ends at 0. And then blue starts at 255 and I have it end at 255. Sweet. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a fade all off. So then I'm just gonna do one of these and turn them all off, but using fading. So the red ended at 179 previously, so I start at 179, go to 0. green was at 0. I'll just go 0, comma 0. The blue was at 255, so it starts at 255 and ends at 0. And then I don't need this because it fades off now. Sweet. It worked out. Okay, red should go orange, and then it should go yellow, and then I'll slowly transition to pure green, and then it'll slowly transition to pure blue. It's getting there, it's getting there. And then indigo. Yeah, I got the light blue going on there. And then it should become violet at some point, like a purplish. I think we're getting there. Yep, I see it. And then it's all gonna fade off, hopefully. Getting there. Boom. And then we start over again. I like it. Sweet. Now, we're not going to have this in there all the time, or maybe we will, I don't know, but I like what I did here. It took a lot of work, so I'm going to make a function called rainbow fade, okay? And let's put all of this in there so that we can pull it out whenever we want. I'm going to cut this. Here we go. All right. And then I call my rainbow fade function. And it should work just like before. And I did that just so, because we're going to be actually adding, learning about something else, but I want to make sure we don't lose all of our, this awesome fading code. All right, let me save this to be called rainbow fade so we can upload that later for y'all. Sweet. All right, so I'm gonna disconnect this for a second. We did the rainbow fading. So today I want to teach you about this component. I'm gonna go to my larger view here. All right, this thing. Okay, so on this theme of you know, we use the analog and the fading, meaning that you can go from a little bit to a little bit more to a little bit more rather than just off and on. Okay, this is in that same realm. This thing's called the potentiometer. Okay, so you're going to grab it from your kit. It's got 3 legs here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to connect it up, and then as we do that, I'll explain how this thing works. All right, so let's go ahead and go here. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw our potentiometer. Okay, our potentiometer looks kind of like this. There's a knob here with a little thing here. And what is it called? It's called, the part number is B10K. All right, and we got 3 pins coming out of it. All right, so here's the thing. The potentiometer is actually like it's made up of a couple resistors, and I think one way you can think of it is got 2 resistors in there. Okay, so another way I'll draw this is like a resistor here and also a resistor here. Okay, so you see one resistor connects to this leg here, and another resistor connects to this leg here. All right, and let's see, I'm trying to explain this through the simplest way. All right, so if let's just write the word potentiometer. Okay, so potential, all right, that represents the word potential, okay, which means energy that is stored. okay, that is available. That's why when someone says you have great potential, that means you have a lot of energy, a lot of good stuff in you that is stored up, that it can come out. Now, for it to come out, you need to work on it, you need to practice, that kind of thing, all right? But so the same thing with electronics, all right? So with potential, there's energy or good stuff stored now that can come out in your circuit. Now that's the same as voltage, okay? Because there's something about with voltage with this potentiometer, right? Now meter means something that you can turn or change, okay, like a dial, okay? A meter is also something that you read out, right? Like if you have, like my son's really into fire trucks, there's a lot of meters on the fire trucks that show the pressure of the water or other things on there that you can like read, okay? All right, so there's something with voltage and reading, turning, and changing that has to do with the potentiometer. So let's like dig into that a little bit. So if you look at the little my fingers there, the potentiometers, you'll notice that you can turn the dial, okay? So that's part of the meter part. You can turn it, okay? Now, what happens as you're turning, okay, what happens as you're turning is the resistors inside here, they're actually changing, okay? So think of this like there's this little notch here, okay? Let me zoom in. Okay, there's a little notch here. And let me change my color here. Okay, so if I have, let's say if I turn the knob this way, so what actually happens, my two resistors become like this. I have one resistor that goes up to here, and the other resistor becomes bigger and goes up to there. So all of a sudden, the bigger resistor is over here, and the smaller resistor is over here. Now, what happens when you try to undo that? What happens when you turn the knob all the way to here? Well, the resistor over here goes up to here, okay, where the knob stops, but then this resistor becomes bigger over here. So that's all that's really happening, okay? Now, if you connect here to 5V, or the highest voltage, and then this side to 0V, which is the same as ground, all of a sudden you have 5 volts. You know, for us, I'm using 5V because our Arduino Uno has a 5-volt source. You could also put like 10 volts or 20 volts, but we don't have that. We have 5 volts. That's why I'm putting 5V here. So you're always going to have 5 volts, okay, between here and here. But how many volts is on this middle one? Well, this middle one is connected to this dial, okay? And as you change, as you adjust the knob, as you turn the knob, these two resistors that we talked about, they change. And as the two resistors change, what happens? The voltage on the two resistors change. Okay? So there's some math to that. We don't need to go into that all right now, but I just kind of want you to kind of understand that what's going on here, okay? As you change the resistor, I'll mention this. As you make a resistor bigger, the voltage is going to get bigger, okay? And as you make the resistor smaller, the voltage is going to get smaller, all right? And so, but again, the most important thing I want you to remember is as we're turning the dial, you're changing the size of the resistor on this side and the resistor over here on this side, and that's changing the voltage right here in the middle. Okay. Now let's go ahead and wire this thing up. So I'm going to add Uno here. Okay. So we have there's one of the legs on this, one of the side legs will go to G and D. The other side leg is going to go to 5V. And then where does this go? Now this is where the voltage is changing. It's an analog signal, meaning that it can it's going to go from anywhere from 0 to 5 volts, okay, as we turn the dial. Now we need to sense it. So we're going to go connect it to A0, which is an analog input. A0. All right, so let's do this. Okay, so let's take this, and first let's find our these three legs here and put one row, each leg onto its own row. So like, let me make some room here. Like this would be fine. And I'll just go ahead and put it down here. Okay, and you might need to wiggle a little bit. Some of these pins are a little bit tight. Okay. Cool. That worked. All right, and then now we're just gonna pick. Yeah, if yours is like mine, the breadboard's pretty tight. So wiggle, wiggle. Don't jam in. You don't want to bend the pins. Okay. Okay. So now those are in. Let's go ahead and wire it up. So the first thing, let's do one of the outside legs. It doesn't matter which outside, just pick one. I'm going to pick this one down here as my outside, as my 5V, okay? So let's go ahead and get a wire. Let's go red. You need pin to pin in this case. And let's stick it in. Okay? And then now this, we need to go to 5V, which is over here. So let's go 5V. That is correct. Okay. And then let's do the GND as well. Let's get. I got a brown pin to pin here. An outside leg, the other outside leg. Okay, this needs to go to G and D. Now I like this. This black wire right here is already G and D, so I'm just going to put in the same row. Over here. Okay, you see that? Same row as my black wire, because that's already G and D. Okay, now just the A0 connection. Let's use yellow pin to pin. Let's line it up. Okay, that middle leg is there. Make sure you got it right. Okay, that looks good. And this goes to A0. So let's look here. A0, we're going to be on over here, where it says analog. All right, this is analog in. A0. This pin there. Cool. All right, so I'm plugged in. Let's go to our code and see if we can see this voltage changing. All right, so let's go here. Okay, and let's change this. All right, so let's go rainbow fade. I'm gonna take away rainbow fade for now. Okay, and let's do this. We're gonna do, we want to be able to read out what it's saying. So we're going to turn on the serial monitor. So we go to the setup function and we see serial.begin parentheses 9600. 9600 is the communication speed. Okay, so what's going to happen is that the Uno is going to send information through, sorry about that, through the USB cable to my computer at 9600 bits per second. That's what it is. Okay. All right, 9600, serial up again. And then we do serial.print ln. Okay, that's just going to be, that's the command for sending information on the USB cable. And just as a test, I just want to put a string in there with, let's see, double quote, hello. So I have the hello in 2 quotes and a semicolon to end it. And I'm going to give a delay 100. All right. So all this is going to do is to test our serial monitor, make sure it's working. It's going to send hello from my Uno board to my computer. So let's try this. I'm going to plug it in. Okay. And what we got to do is upload. Okay. So that sent the code. And then we're going to go to here where it says monitor. Okay. I'm going to click on the monitor tab. And then we have to reconnect here. And we should see. Cool. You see that? It's saying hello, hello, hello over and over again. So that works. Now, just quick note, why we put this 100? We put the 100 there because if you don't put a little delay, it's going to try sending too many hellos in a row in that really fast loop, and the computer will start getting overloaded with messages. So that's why we put a little delay there to slow it down. All right, so now that we know the serial monitor is working, let's go ahead and have it print what the analog voltage is there. Okay. Now the way you do that is like this. So instead of hello, you're gonna say analog read A0. Okay, get my parentheses right. Okay, yeah, these two are together, and then this one with that one. Okay, so this is gonna tell me what voltage it's seeing on the yellow wire, which is connected to A0. Okay, let's upload this. Okay, go to our monitor. Okay, it says 0, 0, 0. What happens when I turn this? All 0. So let's see, did I do something wrong here? Am I off or something? I'm just double checking my wiring here. 5V. Huh. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I see it's working here. I think it wasn't plugged in or something. Okay. All right. So as you see, it says 0 right now, but as I turn it, I'm turning it. It gets bigger and bigger all the way to 1023. You see that? So what's up with that? Is it saying like 1023 volts? No, actually, it's giving a number, but what's happening is that 1023 actually represents 5 volts, and going all the way down, 0 represents 0 volts. Okay, so there's some math to that as well, but I won't get into all of that right this second. All we need to just know is that for now, the highest, 1023 is the highest number, and that represents 5 volts, and 0 represents the smallest number, and that represents 0 volts, okay? And I was trying to see, you can go any value, right, in between there, right? Let's say if I wanted to go 992, can you do that? Let's see. I'm going, yeah, it's like really fine, right? You'll see, oh, 991, I don't think I can do 92 because it's like if I turn it a little bit. Okay, so it's hard to get like a single number, but the idea is that you theoretically could get any number in there. Okay, but it's just really fine movements to do that. All right, cool. So now that we know that that's working, let's do something more interesting. Okay. So we know that the analog read is working. I'm going to leave that in there. Let's do some if clauses so that I can do different things depending on the potentiometer value, right? Like maybe I want to control the intensity of the light, maybe. Let's do that. So if analog read, or maybe I'll do this. Make a variable, okay? Int potentiometer, okay? And I'll say potentiometer equals analog read a 0. All right, so I'm putting the value here into the variable potentiometer. Now I can, instead of putting this here, I can just say potentiometer, okay? Because then it's going to just print out whatever this is, right? And then here, in my conditionals, I can say if potentiometer equals 0, then what do I want to do? I want to do RGB, let's see. Analog, I'm just going to use the red light, I guess. Analog right red to 0. Right? It should be potentiometer. If potentiometer is greater than, let's see, 500, analog right red, comma, let's say 128. If potentiometer is greater than 1000, let's say, analog right red 255, which is the maximum. Okay, so I should have 3 levels here, right? So if I go, I can be all the way off, halfway on, or all the way on. Hopefully this works. Let's see. Oh, I spelled this wrong every time. Potentiometer. Okay. Okay. So I have, let's turn on my serial monitor too so you can kind of see what's going on here. Okay. So I'm turning it, once I get to 500, it should turn on, right? Yeah. Turned on, you see that? And then if I go over 1000, it should turn on higher. Oh, and there you go. And let's go back down. And then let's go down to all the way to 0. Cool. All right. So I'm just actually going to leave it there and give you some challenges here. So let's see. So let's get rid of this. Let me move these little resources here. Okay, challenges. Number 1. is test the potentiometer by reading it out on serial monitor. Okay, so we did that already. I showed you how to do that. Then 2 is fade red light using potentiometer. I'll do resolution equals 3. All right, so what does that mean? So we just did that. So I used a red light, and going back here, and I faded it from 0 to 500 to 1000. So it's either resolution of 3, meaning it's only got 3 levels. Like it's either off, half on, or all the way on. But that's not that cool, right? Let's have a challenge. Fade red light using potentiometer for resolution of 6. So like 6 levels of intensity. Okay, it's gonna look cooler. And then let's just keep going. Resolution of 10. Okay, so I think that would give you an idea of, like, you know, what do you have to do here to you know, I want you to think that through. What do I have to do with these ifs, and what numbers do I have to put here if I want it to fade with more resolution? Okay, the hint is you're gonna probably need some more ifs, and you're gonna have to think about these numbers too, and also these numbers here. Okay, some more fun things. Change colors of RGB based on potentiometer. Okay, so you can design it however you want, but the idea is that as you turn the knob, the colors should change. Okay, and then the final challenge, and that could just be random, like whatever light pattern you want, is fade through. This one might be a little bit challenging or a little easy, not sure. I guess we'll see. Fade through rainbow as you turn the potentiometer. Okay, so as you turn the knob, it should start at 0, it should be red, and then as you turn a little bit, it'll turn to orange, and so forth. Okay, I think if you don't do a lot of fading, like you just go straight red and then straight to orange, I don't think that's very hard. But if you want to do the fading, it might be pretty hard. So maybe what I'll do then is like this. 7 is fade through. Number 6 is just change through rainbow colors. So I'll just call it digital colors as you turn the potentiometer. Okay, so what that means, number 6 is like you don't have to fade like red and then fade it to orange like we did in the Challenger. It just goes red, and then as you turn, at some point it turns to orange, and so forth. So that shouldn't be too bad. But fade through the analog, meaning that like you can go like the red slowly becomes orange as you turn the dot. That I'm thinking could be a little hard. So if you don't get to that one, don't worry about it. We can cover what that would look like on the next video. All right. So that's all I have for you today. Hope you have fun with that. I know we're doing a lot with the analog right now. Soon enough, we're going to be playing with the motor as well. So we get stuff moving along with the lights and stuff. So that'll be fun. Just as a little sneak peek into the future. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully you guys are having fun with this project. I am here to help. Enjoy, and talk to you guys later. Bye.